What's up, Valhalla Sports Talk Nation? Today, front row qualifying for the 63rd running of the Daytona 500. Actually, 64th annual Daytona 500. My mistake. But we've got qualifying for the front row tonight. The first two positions will be determined on speed, 2 laps around Daytona International Speedway. And the fastest 2 speeds will start the Daytona 500 on the front row. Positions 2 through 42 will be determined by tomorrow night's Duels at Daytona. We will be doing a stream for that as well. All leading up to Sunday, the 64th annual Daytona 500, ladies and gentlemen. 14 berserkers up in here, including me, ladies and gentlemen, including me. Welcome to Valhalla Sports Talk's coverage of front row qualifying night here for the Daytona 500. Shout out to Gaming with Eli, who checked in earlier today, one of our members here on the channel, and Rory Otto checks in from Puerto Rico. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the channel. We do have a subscribers only chat on tonight, so all you got to do is hit the subscribe button, and a minute later you'll be able to participate in the chat. But kind of a chill night here. I'm not sure how long this takes. I think a couple hours. I do have a list of the cars as they will be going out tonight. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that. This thing's set to go off at 6:05 my time, so I'm about 20 minutes early, as I've been known to be. But let's go over to the alternate screen here and take a quick look at how they will line up today for qualifying. First car out the gate, Daniel Hemrick will roll off first in that 16 Heritage Pool Supply Group Chevrolet. And then that takes us all the way through to 42 drivers. The last one down on the bottom there, Austin Cindric, the Discount Tire Ford, will roll 42nd tonight in qualifying. But don't hesitate to say hello in the chat. I don't know how highly attended this bad boy will be, but I'm going to try to put on a little show anyway, and we'll try to have some fun today. Try to have some fun this evening. What's up, Cincinnati Bengals fan? How you doing? Are you over your depression? 19 in the chat here. Again, we've got about 20 minutes before they roll off for qualifying here. I hope to have the MRN radio in the background here. We'll see if they broadcast again tonight here. If not, we'll try to pull it in from the TV a little bit. But looking forward to this. I think this will be my second Daytona 500 I've done on the channel. I'm not sure. But single car qualifying to set Sunday's front row starts at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 on your television dial. Cincinnati Bengals fan says kinda over at Valhalla. Yeah, I don't know, man. Bengals have now lost 3 of them bad boys. The only teams that have lost it more are my Vikings and the Buffalo Bills. Vikings did introduce their new coach, Kevin O'Connell, today, so that's a pretty positive development after some angst, some worry that he would not come to Minnesota should McVay retire in Los Angeles there. What's up, Gaming with Eli? What's up, buddy? But we've got the new coach in the house, and he's bringing some folks with him, some coaches with him from the Rams, from the world champion Los Angeles Rams. How many people in the chat actually are NASCAR nuts? Watch these races. Richard checks in. With that haircut, we are guaranteed a good broadcast. Awesome job, and thank you. Bro, this is the same haircut I've had for 30 years, bro. My hairline just keeps moving back. It just keeps moving up. I already had my dinner, y'all. Had me a ham and cheese in the air fryer with some tomato soup. Hey, Sammy DWM, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud. General Thor, for those of you that don't know, is my Labrador Retriever. What's up, Nicole Wembley? Welcome to the show. 22 Berserkers up in here. About 15 minutes away from qualifying, from the start of qualifying. Again, single car runs tonight, and all this determines is positions 1 and 2, as you see to my left here. I guess that would be my right. Nicole says, I won't pay for cable while I'm here. Internet is expensive enough. I'm with you, Nicole. I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. Well, we'll keep you updated here. Like I said, if they put MRN on for free today on online here, I'll bring that in for you guys to hear as well. If not, we'll just stifle it from the television a little bit in front of me here. 42 cars tonight, Nicole. 42 cars. Let me show you real quick. This is the list of the cars and how they will be headed out tonight. Hemrick will start first, and then all these cars will go out and run 2 laps. My guy Harvick is rolling off 35th, which is usually a good thing. You usually like to roll later in the evening when it's colder, but you got to worry about the wind. Usually it's a gust of wind that decides these top 2 rows. Appreciate it, Nicole. Appreciate it. But Bill Elliott holds the track qualifying record. February 15th of 87. That's when NASCAR decided, holy shit, we better slow these cars down. He got up to 210 miles an hour on the high banks of Daytona. You're working on a Giants rebuild as you watch this, Cincy Bengals fan? What do you mean? What means this? What means this? Listen, if y'all could share this out on your social media, that would rock. That would help us out. And make sure to like the video. Liking the video is what gets us up in the search rankings. Lets more people find us here on YouTube. Tim Van Voorhis checks in, says, awesome Bill from Dawsonville. Yeah, his son Chase rolls off after Harvick tonight. That's my worry. I liked Harvick's draw for qualifying, but I do not like that he's got those 2 Hendrick Chevrolets behind him. Both Elliott and Larson qualify 37th and 41st, respectively. Oh, in Madden 22. I got you, Cincy Bengals fan. I got you. 29 in the house. The paint schemes you see rolling below me here are the actual paint schemes that will be run in the Daytona 500 for those teams. Unfortunately, I only have, I think, 33 of the 42. The other ones have not been released yet, so as they come along through the week, if they add more, I'll be adding more to that for the running of the 500. But those are the schemes of your favorite drivers this weekend. Those of you that didn't catch the clash at the Coliseum last week, the biggest difference, obviously, in the new car, the weirdest difference, I guess, is that number being pushed all the way forward on the car. Gives them more room for advertising space. But this car this year is all brand new, y'all. All right, we got Harvick on the telecast in front of me. Let's listen in.
You know, I watch that every year. Really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we like to go back to, like, I think it's like 12 to go. I think we were like 32nd. I remember you way down with like 12 to go and going through the pack. The best story about that particular...
Nicole says 42 cars to qualify tonight, so tomorrow night, one car will go home from each qualifying race.
We were the only ones left in the pit stop because we were so far back. And
yeah, I think you're right, Nicole.
You know, to come back out.
Sammy says, are they still 2 laps? I haven't watched qualifying since 2009. Yes, 2 laps.
Did you have
one to get up to speed and the other one to make it happen?
Going on behind you and
Richard says, believe it or not, I'm a former crew chief on a NASCAR National Championship late model car. Way cool, man. So you know a lot more than I do, Richard.
Obviously, when I came back around,
I'm a fan, but I've never been a crew chief.
They might have still been wrecking as I came back around. So there was.
Nicole says your car images are good. 33 is better than none. Yeah, that's cool.
Nothing like winning the Daytona 500.
You were a big part of that. Do you want to give us a little recreation of there's going to be a giant race? It'll live on forever as a part of that call.
That's right.
Let's fast forward now. Larry and I were talking earlier.
I got one of them Bush hats on the way, but I don't think it'll be here before the race.
Career starts. That was in 07. I mean, your career dates to 01. How do you put all of
Ordered me a new Harvick t-shirt and hat this week.
It seems like forever. I don't know about you, Larry, but it just seems like you almost forget.
But 32 in the house. Welcome to Valhalla Sports Talk, y'all. If this is your first time, hit the subscribe. Give the video a like. We do a lot of sports live streams here on the channel.
Like it's just... it's been a long time, but you know, I think as you
my teams, for those of you that are new, I am a diehard Minnesota Viking fan. All my other teams are from Los Angeles: the Lakers, the Dodgers, and the LA Kings,
as you look at the challenge,
and obviously Harvick in NASCAR.
And just because of the fact that the steering feels different, the pedals are different, the car draft's different, sounds different, drives different.
Another big change this year on these cars is there's no more 5 lug nuts or 4 lug nuts on the car. It's one single lug nut.
Those years and
a center one like in the F1 cars.
That open-minded conversation with Rodney makes me excited about where we are. And you know, I think yesterday, for me, I spent practice literally going through the basics. I would call it. You know,
Nicole says we could have a contest what the pole speed will be tonight. Okay, everyone put it in the chat what you think the pole speed will be this evening. What is it going to take to make the pole for this race?
Your feet work differently than what they've done before you downshift going into the pit box. And so
I can't remember where they were at. I think they were in the 94, 95 range.
I have to close my eyes and say.
Nicole says, I'm a Packers fan, long time, don't hate me. I'll try, Nicole, I'll try.
It would be bad. So, you know, just really trying to be a student of the car.
What do you think's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
It feels like, and do all these simple things.
I did see Aaron Rodgers broke up with his Hollywood girlfriend this week.
It's going to be an evolution. The evolution of the garage is going to be something that you'll have.
I feel horrible about that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. It's hard to have any expectations because you really don't know what you have.
You know, Kevin, you mentioned Keelan, your son, and I know you guys have had a busy off season. He's been doing a lot of racing. You guys have.
Nicole thinks it's going to be 192.5 for the pole today.
Yeah,
I think you're right in the wheelhouse there, Nicole.
I bet you do.
Yeah, but no, he's done good. And the last 2 years, yeah, we've spent really.
I did see a lot of the cars yesterday were skewing the car way to one side, so especially Harvick. It looked like his car was driving sideways.
Has really been rejuvenating, just because it has made
during practice last night.
You know, you go to that go track and seeing.
Sammy checks in. Do you do every race or just the 500?
watching them learn.
My guess is 193. Packers fan here also. Holy crap, we got a lot of Packers fans in here, y'all.
Remember how much
We got a lot of Packers fans up in here.
relevant in today's situation.
I don't do every race, Sammy. I'll probably do more this year, though. I have a feeling I'm probably going to do a couple of them.
I think it's
Expensive.
Yeah, sure.
It all depends on baseball, too. I do a lot of Dodger games on this channel, so
Someone else.
we'll have to see how that schedule goes. But if Major League Baseball stays locked out,
Great to have you here.
you know, instead, am I going to do a Lakers stream? I can't even hardly watch them this year. They disgust me so badly. So all depends. I would say pay attention. I think I'll do more this year than I did last year, without a doubt.
The show. Let's go back over to Jamie.
And look who's back, Greg Biffle. I don't know, Greg. People have talked about.
All right, so that's the big news as far as returning drivers this week is Greg Biffle back on a race team trying to qualify for the 500.
Years about him trying to put a program together.
52 years old. He won the 2002 Daytona 500.
Well, we saw what you did when you just came off the couch, jumped in a truck, and you got a win. Did that kind of wet?
Yeah, and you can't see the actual video, Mad Mike Bradley, but I will have the audio, hopefully, so you can hear it. Yeah, definitely a copyright violation if I show the video.
And it's nice to be back and back in the car.
There's been so much with this new car, a lot of talk about it. What was it like to finally just jump?
Nicole thinks you might want to change your guess.
Again.
Well, I'll tell you what, I was really nervous because I knew the guys had a test here. They got to run the LA Coliseum. And
Nicole thinks the Packers are going to go all out to keep Rodgers, but she's read that he might end up in Denver. I've seen that as well. What's up, Alan?
Nervous yesterday going on the track. It was like butterflies.
What's up, Alan? How you doing, buddy?
But I did.
Well, he'll have some butterflies coming up tonight. It's qualifying for the Daytona 500 New York Racing.
Yeah, we're doing all of them this weekend, Alan. We're going to do qualifying tonight, the duels at Daytona tomorrow, both those races, and then the 500 on Sunday.
Josh Sims, who are with us here at the Daytona 500 Club. Now the schedule for the rest of the week. It all begins tomorrow.
Michael says 188 will be the pole speed.
Remember, there are 6 open teams here. 2 will not make the 500.
So just like Nicole said, out of all the teams that are there, there will be 2 that will not make the Daytona 500. So Biffle is not guaranteed to make the show. Banana says not if you show it without sounds. I don't know. Anytime I show video, it seems like I get a warning, bro. Sammy says I won't hold the Dodgers against you. Brewers and Twins fan here. There you go.
Today on Media Day, Larry.
There you go.
This picks up what I've been saying over the last few weeks. Today supported that the energy and the excitement about 2022.
If I wasn't a Dodger fan, I'd probably be a Twins fan.
There were so many people energized and excited about a new season.
But there's little or no doubt that I am a Dodgers fan.
So many unknowns with this year, but the anticipation, as you said, is at a very high level. The fun continues next. It's time for Daytona.
All right, so what time is it? It's 6 o'clock. Let's see if they've got any radio up here.
Every achievement at Daytona is earned. From the first day to the last, first turn to the final stretch, Speed Week harbors the history of our sport.
There's nothing bigger than winning the Daytona 500.
All right, it hasn't come up yet.
Trials and triumphs that prove which competitors are worthy of the
Let me try to get this screen set up real quick for y'all, though.
step in this process is qualification.
Let me try to get this screen set up. Well, that looks pretty good right there, don't it?
For the chance to earn a
All right, so we're good to go.
the chance to lead around the first
We're ready to rock and roll, y'all.
for the leaders. The best stock car drivers on the planet earn it. Next,
Gaming with Eli says, are you going to do a lot of NASCAR races this year? Someone else just asked that, Eli. I'm going to try to do a few. Nicole says Biffle has never won the 500. I'm not sure what that graphic was they were showing. It said Daytona 2, so maybe it meant he won one of the qualifying races? I don't know.
Great American race.
Rory Artis says Valhalla between the Intimidator and Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin or Jimmy Johnson. Who would you pick to run a race for me? Man, I'm a Dale Earnhardt fan, bro. Before I became a Harvick fan, I was a diehard Dale Earnhardt Sr. fan.
The poll tonight, that's pretty special as well. This is a lap you start thinking about it.
Michael says it's 12 o'clock p.m. in Tasmania. Where's that at, Michael?
All that I remember. I'd have to look it up.
Where's Tasmania?
The one I can remember. 1995, coming here sitting on the boat for the Daytona 500 with Dale Jarrett. It's one of those laps, it takes every I dotted, every T crossed, everything your driver can give you, the race car, and every member of that race team. You know this, you've lived it. Never easy when you come.
All right, I think here we go. This is what I found yesterday. Let's see if we can bring this in.
And everybody's learning together. The teams are learning, NASCAR's learning, and they were skewing the cars. They were getting.
You know, when you're a part-time cup guy, I guess is what they call me now.
All right, so bringing in the feed from MRN
You never know if you can get people
Radio.
to jump on board, so to have them come on and support our efforts down here is pretty special. They're brand new to the sport, and yeah, back in the 500, something I didn't think I'd ever have a chance to be back part of it.
Sammy
again, so
says it looks
pretty cool.
awesome. Great
running the
picks as
Xfinity Series the last year or two,
Australia.
you do have some cup experience.
Oh,
This
I
new
got you,
generation
Michael.
race car. What types of things did you learn about your car?
Chris
yesterday
Davis
at a
checks
couple
in, says I'm a new
practice
subscriber, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't only
Appreciate it,
yesterday.
Chris.
I mean, it was, you know, preseason testing.
Appreciate it,
I had
man.
the
General
opportunity to do
Thor
one of
will
the
be
tests
proud.
down here, and yeah, just learned the different characteristics of how
Marcos
it's hooked up,
Ambrose's
how it
home
pushes,
state, says
how
Michael.
it gets pushed. But I felt really good, you know, about what Chevrolet and how they've put so much effort in to identifying. You know,
All right, so you
OEMs
guys
back
tell
to
me what you
NASCAR,
prefer to hear.
what you
The
buy on Sunday,
MRN
you can drive
call,
on
which is
Monday,
what
and
we're
that's-
hearing now.
That's a really interesting thing for me to
Okay.
be part of, right? Because
Or for me to pull it from the TV, which is just coming through the mic.
You got one lap to do it. And then if you're one of the fastest 10,
I mean, I'll probably do a combination, but you tell me, guys, tell me what you prefer.
one will run for the pole. Here's Jamie Little.
Roberto says the top 5 race car drivers of all time. Are we talking just NASCAR or all racing?
You guys did some mock qualifying runs, so
Chris says I love NASCAR.
I mean, gives you hope for tonight to take that pole.
Yeah, we did a couple and just kind of seeing what raw speeds in your car. I think we had decent speed, and we found a little bit in our second run.
They're interviewing Blaney, the driver of the number 12 car.
A little bit more.
28-year-old out of High Point, North Carolina. He's got 7 career wins.
But what excited me about
Chris says Dale Sr. was my favorite. My favorite too, Chris.
really good in the draft. Of getting pushed, me pushing somebody else, and it drove really nice.
My Mount Rushmore of NASCAR racers would have to be,
Car, but I think it's really
and now remember, I'm biased, right? But mine would have to be
some overnight speed.
Earnhardt,
And we try to put it on the front row, but looking forward to tonight.
Gordon,
And see what we got.
Petty.
It's a full moon. You never
It's only 4 on Mount Rushmore, huh?
The unknown is
Johnson has to be up there too.
we come here to Daytona. We heard from Ryan Blaney. I know he had speed last night.
So Petty, Earnhardt, Gordon, Johnson.
When it comes to going after the pole.
Well, I think if you just look at the history, and we thought maybe this new car was going to change the landscape of things, but it looks like to me, if you
Nicole likes the TV the best.
you better be part of the Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet camp. Those 4 drivers, they had speed last night just like they've had for the last.
Nicole says we can get MRN on the internet, so Fox Sports 1. Well, this is as good as it sounds, y'all. So I apologize. That's as good as it's going to get.
And we know they will be impressive here tonight. So there's
But 54 in the house. Holy free holy.
the new season. And near the top of the list this year, that new car.
And we're about to get going, y'all.
You need to know.
What do y'all think of the new car? Tell me what you think of the new car, how it, the whole idea of the new car, the look of it.
It's a unique look and feel for the 2022 season.
They're talking about it right now.
Runs resemble the street legal version now more than ever. As far as competition changes, innovation is everywhere. Shifting went from old school to new school. The old 4-speed H-pattern shifter is out, and in its place, a 5-speed.
Griffin checks in, says Landon Cassell is going off second. He could stay on the top of the chart for a bit. He has some surprising speed.
Creating less turbulence for the car trailing behind. They also look like
I probably couldn't comment on the Indy 500 drivers. I only know a few of them.
a single lug aluminum wheel. Talk about a game changer. Not only does it give the car a completely new look,
What's up, Beantown Breakdown?
10-second pit stop.
Bobby in the house, everybody.
Truly, it's next level.
Bobby from Beantown Breakdown, up in here, up in here.
Imagine getting 150
Sammy says Biffle won the Pepsi 400 in 2003.
adventures in a new Dodge Hellcat.
Yeah, everybody in the chat, let's see your picks for who's going to win the pole position tonight. Actually, tell me who's going to be on the front row, first and second.
Expand to Dodge Ambassador.
Tell me who's going to be first and second. Rorioto says Mario Andretti, Castroneves, and Weldon. That sounds like a good top 3 for Indy. Need something, COO?
Nope.
COO checking in on me, all. Probably wondering why I had the TV so loud. But we've got 65 in the house, y'all. 65 up in here. Again, we'll be back on tomorrow night for the duels at Daytona, both of the qualifying races to determine positions 2 through 42 for the 500. And then Sunday, we'll be here for the Great American Race, ladies and gentlemen. We will be here for the Great American Race. What did I say it was? What running? The 64th running of the Daytona 500. All right, what we got going on here? Sunday, 2:30 Eastern time, so I'll be on about a half hour prior to that. Hopefully we get good weather this year. It looks like the weather's looking positive. Hopefully we don't get rain. Nicole says Larson's going to be 1, Elliott 2 for the front row. Very possible. They both qualify late, as I mentioned. They both do qualify late. I'm going to say, I mean, Hendrick has dominated the front row for the past few years, right? So I'm going to put a wild card in there. I'm going to say that it's going to be Larson on the pole and Harvick second. That's what I say. 66 in the chat, though. Welcome. Welcome to the show, everybody. Little advertisement for the race right up the street here in just a bit on March 11th through the 13th at Phoenix. It's a brand spanking new car, y'all. So we could get a surprise. You never know, right? We could get a surprise. It's 6:09, so they should be running around this track pretty quick here. All right, here we go.
Big names and new places? Well, let's get to it. 2004 champ Kurt Busch is on the move as Chip Ganassi Racing closes its doors. Kurt joins Michael Jordan, Denny.
All right, 75 in the house for qualifying.
While former teammate Ross Chastain joins forces with Pitbull, Justin Marks, and Daniel Suarez over at Trackhouse Racing. Another champ, Brad Keselowski.
So man, we've got a car that's partly owned by Floyd Money Mayweather. We've got a Michael Jordan owned entry with Denny Hamlin, and then we've got Pitbull that owns a team now, or is part owner of a team.
Series into the number 2 car, and Harrison Burton replaces Matt DiBenedetto with Penske's satellite team, Wood Brothers Racing. And speaking of serious movers, Todd Gilliland trades in his truck for a car, piloting the number 38 Cup Series car for Front Row Motorsports. While Ty Dillon,
I'm in Arizona, Nicole.
driving the number 42.
I'm in Arizona.
Teammate Eric Jones and the
I grew up in Los Angeles, but I live in Arizona and have for a long
And
time.
lastly, Justin Haley and Colin Racing are both going full-time Cup racing, with Justin in the number 31. Did you catch all of that?
You heard it there.
There you go, your new faces in new places.
But there was no movement in Hendrick Motorsports, and that's a good thing, especially when you consider we're here at Daytona. Because when you look at their numbers,
Griffin says if he's not in North Carolina, I'll eat a dirty sock.
it's virtually unbeatable there. Yeah, and I just didn't think God.
Bon appetit, sir. Bon appetit. Yeah, lots of new owners.
He still has his.
Bobby, a couple of us just predicted. I predicted that it's going to be Larson and Harvick on the front row. Larson on the pole, Harvick in the second spot.
Front to rear bumper, from roof to floor. React to these numbers. 14 Daytona 500 poles, most of all time.
Sammy says, what are your thoughts about Kurt going to Toyota?
Team or what driver?
I kind of think it's an interesting move for him, right? He brings that monster sponsorship with him to the Michael Jordan Denny Hamlin team. So isn't Monster like the exact opposite of Gatorade? I mean, as far as
There's no way.
new subscriber, Vexican, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
Rule changes, arrow changes, and you've got the variable this year of a completely.
I would get more upset about drivers swapping manufacturers if these were real cars.
For you throughout the balance of the week. It just puts momentum into the race.
Nicole says, was wondering, I'm in Florida, you're 2 hours behind because Arizona doesn't do daylight savings time. Correct. We do not participate.
4 days out. If you can sell,
We do not participate in the whole daylight savings time thing.
you know where you're going to take the green flag on Sunday. The cars are on the grid.
We almost got 100 people in the chat, y'all. Welcome.
For the Daytona 500, Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, next.
All right, so one last commercial break, I bet you, before they start going around this track. One more commercial break. 108 up in here, up in here. Now, keep in mind, folks, this is just front row qualifying tonight, just for the first 2 spots for the Daytona 500. Tomorrow night, the duels at Daytona will determine positions 2 through 42 and will also be live streamed here on Valhalla Sports Talk. And then on Sunday, the big show. The big show. The Great American Race on Sunday here on Valhalla Sports Talk. Bobby says, middle finger daylight savings time. I hate that crap. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. How you feeling today, Bobby? How you feeling today? Bobby going through a little medical battle there, y'all. So give your best wishes to him and prayers if you're so inclined. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. The thumbs up is the big deal to get this thing out on YouTube, y'all. Usually if you get 100 thumbs up early, you have a really good stream. You have a really good stream. Well attended. People have fun. We, of course, will go to the alternate screen here when they're running around in circles as much as we can, so that you guys can see how it's all looking. Correct. Tonight's speeds set the positions and the races that they race in tomorrow. That's correct, Nicole. Nicole knows her stuff, y'all. I thumbed you. Appreciate it. Bobby says, I feel okay today. My energy levels aren't what they used to be, but I'm okay. There you go, buddy. One day at a time, my man.
I am the Daytona 500. I am NASCAR.
All right, here we go.
Welcome back to Daytona 500 qualifying, part of speed.
All right, Chad, best paint scheme of the weekend. Best paint scheme of the weekend. What do you got?
Drivers set to take
Which paint scheme do you like the best?
of the day. We will know which 2 drivers will start on the front row for the Daytona 500 and which 2
Hexflex says, I like J.J. Yealy in the Hex car. There you go.
drivers will be locked into the 500 field. Beautiful day in Daytona.
There you go.
A little scary
Bump Wills, welcome
an hour ago, but
to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud. 66 degrees in Daytona, 6 mile per hour wind to the east. Cloudy, track temperature 76 degrees. We got cars on the track.
get to it. Daniel Hemrick out of Kannapolis, North Carolina, will be our first qualifier. He is the reigning Xfinity Series champion. He was a Cup Rookie of the Year in 2019, had a pole that season at Kansas in his
All right, so Hemrick, first one out.
campaign. They went back to the Xfinity Series, won a championship. He'll be full-time in Xfinity this year, and he'll do, he got the call from Chris Rice to do 8 Cup races for calling, which is a brand.
And we know that 16 will be on the pole after this, right?
And flex some muscle, out in LA at the Coliseum Clash, man, and they flex some serious muscle, had good speed with both of their race cars out there. So I look for this group to show some speed.
Hey, appreciate it, Bump.
1 lap. That's all you get. No room for mistakes.
No, you don't. And like I said, you just got to try to
Sammy says, Kurt's the kiss theory.
possible, smooth and steady, and make this racetrack as small as possible. But
Bobby's always liked the look of Harvick's car. He usually has really good paint schemes.
slow on that racetrack. If you drag down there.
Their paint scheme this week is the hashtag.
It will cost you.
I can't remember what the hashtag is, but it has to do with supporting women that want to get into NASCAR and race. So Busch has promised to support them financially as they try to progress through their careers.
Can do.
Daniel Hemrick,
Griffin says only if he makes a lap can he be the pole position. True.
5 seconds. Here's Mitch Welch.
Brad Keselowski was watching that with interest.
All right, so 179.429.
Keselowski, part of the ownership.
His best time was 50.159. Last lap, 179.429.
Screw it up, right?
Next out, London Cassell.
Nuances, but it's pretty hard to screw up, but you can.
How do you say that correctly? Landon Cassill.
Four generators for it, Mustang. I don't know if we have speed to go for the pole, but we've got a lot of speed in general when we get to race trips. So when you get to these aspects of the weekend, it's kind of like, let's get through it and be ready for the big show on Sunday.
Thanks, Brad. Mike.
Landon Castle from Iowa. Cedar Rapids there. Inspire Motorsports is the team. But he's going to run some cup races. He's going to run full-time for Colin in the Xfinity Series this year. And his career best cup.
So 32 years old out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. His best finish was 4th at Talladega. He's in the red on this lap. Of course, it's lap number 1, right?
One of the things that you can do, again, something
Crosses the start-finish line.
gears, shifting to fifth gear, high gear. Some guys, I've been talking to some of those drivers, people are shifting into that fifth gear in different places.
50.884 for Castle. Here's Eric Jones. Now, Richard Petty Motorsports
All right, so he was slower, right?
and Gallagher Motorsports, GMS Racing, merged for 2022. They are a two-car team, Jones and Ty Dillon. Jones returning and Ty Dillon coming back to the Cup Series as the team's 2 drivers. Jones has 3 top 10s in 10 days.
All right, so Eric Jones out there right now in the 43 car.
2018 win.
Focus Factor. Chevrolet.
Our ghost car, top of your screen, compares Daniel Hemrick with Eric Jones.
Castle like the castle. Gotcha.
Jones just a little bit higher up the racetrack. Enough to make a difference?
Yeah, I think so. I actually do think so. It was up enough that you can noticeably see it, and obviously losing speed on the
The famed 43, y'all. The Richard Petty 43.
2.2
Jones gets up to 2nd.
for Eric Jones. Adam?
Mike, we're joined by Vice President of Competition at Hendrick Motorsports, Chad Canals. I think you should change your title to Director of Daytona Qualifying. We had the numbers. HMS is pretty good here on pole day.
Motorsports. I'm really proud of the effort that our team put into that. It's definitely something we focus on during the offseason. Is trying to come down here. It's a good way.
What's up, Glenn? How you doing, buddy?
Obviously, if we get a good qualifying run
There you go. The need for speed.
there, race car runs.
2-minute Tommy checks in, says, I'd like to talk some smack about Kyle Busch. Nothing personal to my NASCAR friends. I can take it as good as I get it.
We thought the next gen may be the
And Robert Galvin checks in. What's up, Robert?
looks like we might be for more of the same.
Well, we'll see. Last night was really difficult to really discern.
All right, that's 7 cars out there right now. That's Corey LaJoy and another Chevrolet.
A lot of guys were getting toes, and the ebb and the flow of the practice times was definitely moving around a good bit. But there again, I do feel like our guys did really
Griffin says Landon stunk. He must want to start the duels in the back.
really well. So I'm excited about it.
All right, so the 7, LaJoy finishes 3rd on the board. A 50.96.
Joy just finishing up his run from Concord, North Carolina. All 4 of his career top 10s have been on super speedways. 3 of them here.
All right, Kurt Busch on the track in that 45, his new team.
2017 Daytona 500 champion.
The 45
Busch
Toyota
to a new team this year.
Monster Energy Drink Toyota.
Motorsports team with Bubba Wallace.
You can see the ghost car right there, just pretty much from the word go, losing speed all the way through. I told you, those collar cars had speed out there.
125 up in here. Welcome to Valhalla Sports Talk's coverage of front row qualifying for the Daytona 500.
Tightening the gap you see to the fastest qualifier so far. the red box down on the lower left of your screen, and now that grows just a bit. So let's start the 500.
Currently third on the board. I don't think he's going to get up there. Third, so it stays 16:43. Dalton D, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud. Thank you so much.
Now the first 22 cars to qualify.
All right, Bubba Wallace next on the track in that 23 McDonald's Toyota Camry.
Plus the 6 open cars, the non-charter.
That's the Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin-owned team. Hamlin at Media Day today said he wanted to see both his cars in the chase this year. Well, I'm sure they do want to see both of them. I kind of like this McDonald's paint scheme compared to the other ones from the past. Yeah, welcome newcomers to the chat. 137 in the house. Didn't figure we'd get this many for qualifying.
In the running order, when this qualifying lap is complete, and Wallace moves up to second there.
All right, so Wallace currently in the second spot.
And that's where he'll finish with 50-19.
And Wallace moves into the 2 spot in that 23.
Junior won the Daytona 500 pole back in 2020. So I see you watching each run. What are you looking for before you get in your race car?
I'm just really kind of just paying attention to everybody's line that they're running, how far off the yellow line they're getting, or how aggressive they're getting to it.
The dude wonders, are there any lady drivers in this race? I don't think so. I don't think this year there are.
You can have a tailwind.
If chat knows, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think there's any females.
Yeah, the guys have been working really hard on.
There are some coming up through the truck and the next series up.
Button up and see what happens here. Always feel really good about getting in one of Brian Patty's cars for qualifying at a speedway, but he doesn't have.
All right, so we got Briscoe, one of the Stewart Haas racing cars out there, the 14 Mahindra tractors.
To finally be here.
Ford.
Chase Briscoe.
He's sitting right there with him.
Green, what was he doing with his left hand off the wheel, Clint?
Oh, maybe waving to the crowd, maybe trying to fill that gap in between the win and that, and they push right there. So
Jeff Cameron, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
Hey.
Briscoe finished third there with a 50.20.
Season last year for Stewart Haas. Driving the, what do you call it, the 14 ball?
Glenn says, I wonder how many gallons of Monster Energy drink Kurt Busch drinks every season. His heart rate must be off the chart. Glenn, I worked in the car business, and a lot of guys lived off that stuff, so it can be done.
That maybe makes that very car.
All right, here's kind of a cool car.
So here's Eric Jones' teammate, Ty Dillon.
Ty Dillon.
Number 42 was used
in that Black Rifle Coffee Chevrolet. I kind of like this paint scheme, too.
Of course, Lee Petty went to the NASCAR Hall of Fame driving the 42 for most of his career.
Made some noise out in L.A. Man, I tell you what.
Yes.
I hate action-packed
all
around Ty.
Old Ty Dillon in that Coliseum race, he hit everybody but the pace car.
His dual race on Thursday last year.
He literally hit everybody on the track except for the pace car. And then was disqualified right near the end there. His first lap 5th. I think are they only doing 1 lap, y'all?
Man, really tight right there.
I think they're allowed 2, but
you got 320s and 19. Very, very tight.
The dude says, I've been following Haley Deegan in the truck series. I know she wants to move up, but she hasn't got enough track experience yet. Yeah, I've seen her as well. She's pretty active on both Twitter and Instagram.
At Kentucky Speedway.
Richard says he has his own energy drink called Rowdy. I think that's his brother.
This 41 was a former Kurt Busch ride, but if I outlined
all right, so the 41 of Cole Custer, another one of the Stewart Haas Racing Fords.
Been around a long time.
Yep.
41 sponsored by Haas Automation.
The Fords had speed in the draft in practice yesterday.
Yes, they did in a big way. And these Stuart Haas cars, you know, they didn't come down to
153 in the house.
yesterday's practice session was the first time on the racetrack. I know they were scrambling, trying to get caught up, trying to figure out what they need.
7th for Custer, 50.54.
Qualifying session or for the big dance on Sunday.
Well, Custer 7th right now, 6th
Sammy says Kyle is rowdy energy.
world champion, looking to make the Daytona 500. And 2 of them will lock in tonight's time trials. Jamie.
So,
One of those drivers. This is Floyd Mayweather's team. Look at this car.
all right, so they're interviewing Kaz Gralla in the car. He's running for Money Mayweather
And you're not locked
in the number 50 car.
It's a big moment.
It's from Boston, Massachusetts, Bobby, if you're still in the house. Kaz Gralla.
Team racing and
He's got 4 Cup Series starts.
beautiful pit viper Chevy here, so we're hoping that it's going to be as fast as it is bright. We don't.
Who's out there right now? David Reagan makes his return out there in a Ford, number 15.
I'll see really good tonight if that's the case. So we'll see what she's got. Whatever it is, we know we're prepared to make it.
Number 15.
To tomorrow, but you know, a little bit of stress relief would be a terrible thing.
Thanks, guys. Mike.
Here's David Reagan, who had hung up his helmet but comes back to drive for Rick Winter Racing. His successes all come on the big
All right, so not a very good lap for Reagan, a 51.22.
Talladega. Reagan, 50.
The dude says I'm waiting for Greg Biffle to set his time. I can't remember how far down the list Biffle is. Let me look real quick.
You're no other than David Reagan, beating it up, trying to make a move on you. Always good, always finding his way to the front down here in Daytona.
When David had all that
Oh, I could check here too, huh?
he was teamed with David Gilliland, the father of this driver. Todd is making his Cup Series debut.
Biffle runs off 14th.
Series starts at a
So just a few more drivers, y'all.
truck winner. His dad won the pole for Robert Yates here in 2007.
I just love the way
All right, Todd Gillian in that 38 Ford.
down the park. The diffuser on the back.
FirstPhaseCard.com.
Thing. Not only as we see drafting and everything take place here at Daytona,
I'd like to see Biffle do well, I'd like to see Biffle do well this weekend.
tracks, intermediates,
Old head power, y'all. 52 years old.
a lot of noise this year.
Todd Gilliland checks in.
All right, Gillen about 9th, so not very good.
Among the next 11 to take from the track, Brad Keselowski and former Daytona 500 pole winner Ricky Scott.
All right, so they are headed to a commercial break, y'all. They are headed to a commercial break. So far, Hemrick and Wallace sit 1-2. But we got 164 in the house. That's encouraging. So I wonder if they update this page. No, they don't update it. They don't update it, y'all. So let us know in the chat how you found us here on YouTube today if you're new to the channel. Like to see if something we're doing in the thumbnails maybe is making a difference, or maybe the description. The dude says Joey Logano is showing good form too. I can see him doing well this weekend. Logano's sneaky, man, isn't he? Logano is not allergic to the big events. He is not allergic to the big events. He tends to win a lot of them. Won that race at the Coliseum last week. Shows up big in the 500 quite often. He's one of them sneaky drivers. Sneaky good with that Shell Pennzoil sponsorship. But we got 168 in the house, our first commercial break. I'm sure they're still going to be rolling around the track there. The next one up, according to what I'm looking at here, is BJ McLeod in that 78 Ford, rolling off 12th. But I'll get you back to the audio as soon as the commercials are over. Sammy says, I like Mike Joy's broadcasting. I've always liked Mike Joy as well. I've always liked him as well. Bump Will says, put in search NASCAR live qualify. What do you mean? Oh, that's how you found us? Okay, so it's the description on the thumbnail then. Sammy searched for 2022 Daytona qualifying. Gotcha. Gotcha. I appreciate that. That helps. That helps. My Super Bowl stream didn't get nearly the kind of views that I anticipated. And I realized after it was over, I didn't put Super Bowl in the title. What an idiot. What an idiot. All right, let's get back to it, y'all.
In the top 20 in the final point standings
Let's get back to it.
last season. And the open cars, 6 of them. 4 Busch will qualify.
All right, they're pushing out my ride. They're pushing out that Busch Light Chevrolet.
This will be BJ
He doesn't qualify till much later.
Florida.
All right, McLeod out there in that 78 car, the ignition car. That's a pretty nice paint scheme,
It's
too.
a nice little small town in Central Florida.
Good looking car.
Had his first Cup top 10 finish at Daytona.
I'm not sure what ignition is, but
August.
it's a good-looking car. The dude says there's a YouTuber called Eco Green GT. He's a racing streamer. Suggested coming here to listen and chat about NASCAR, so I followed his advice. I'll have to look that guy up. I appreciate him sending you my way.
Mike, to know, with this bracket opinion,
I appreciate him sending you my way.
pushing that in car a few cars ago.
What's up, Peter Swan?
Who he was holding that. That's something, obviously, a trick of the trade, right? Over the course of several years, I kind of locked my elbow into my seat a little bit, into my hip, and that helped me hold the steering wheel, just as straight.
Oh, NASCAR Ignition is the racing game, right, y'all?
Your way around there of not moving.
Isn't that the new NASCAR racing game?
I wonder how much it scrubs off. That's what I was really interested with in watching this tonight.
McLeod's RPM fluctuating a bit from 76, 7,700 as he works his way around.
The paint scheme didn't help his speed very much. A 51.15. Good for 11th out of 12.
You see a yellow line after the 10th spot. That's because the 10 fastest drivers overall.
All right, Brad Keselowski, his new team. He's in that number 6 Ford. Keselowski, 38 now, out of Rochester Hills.
Keselowski at the end of last season looking for an ownership stake and a place where he could win. He landed at Roush Fenway, now Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. He has 7 wins, the most of them all active.
He seemed to have trouble finding speed last week. We'll see how he does this week.
Looking good, obviously. A lot of lap left coming down the back straightaway. But I'm looking for big things for Brad and RFK. I think.
Y'all, do you think my bucket of pretzels is big enough?
That's something that I've been looking for a long time.
Do you think my pretzel bucket is big enough?
I will just find that.
So he worked his way down the track a foot or two, down the yellow line, entering turn 3, and comes out right pretty much.
I think he's already in second, y'all.
But not quite as quick. Keselowski's Mustang, 50.19
Ah, good enough for third. A 50.20, they're saying.
at the top of the board.
Man, I cannot believe how tight those times are as you're looking down through there. A lot of 20s. You don't want to be on the wrong side of a 20 tonight, I can promise you that.
No, he's in a Ford. Keselowski was in a Ford.
Here's a bit of a surprise.
Yep, 42 cars.
Greg Biffle had kind of dropped out of
The dude says NASCAR is becoming really popular here in England,
his first Cup win.
with a lot of us Brits staying up all night to catch races, but it's still not televised enough here.
Is back. He sat on the pole for the
There's Biffle out on the track, y'all.
2004.
The dude, I heard that NASCAR, after the success of the race at the Coliseum, the rumor is they're looking to make a splash for next year, and they're wanting to go global for that first exhibition race for the Busch Clash.
On a boat somewhere in Ireland.
Maybe England is where they go.
Off the boat 2 years ago. I think he's got the old girl
What's up, FJ?
chart house looking good.
NY Racing Team, which came together kind of late.
Biffle's car's looking tight.
But this car
Tight as in good looking.
time his way in, and he is 12th of 14 right now.
He's not going very fast, though.
Yes.
With Kyle Busch coming up.
51.10. 12th out of 14.
Ever in this sport, but still looking for that first Daytona 500 win.
The dude says the pretzel bucket is just right. My mom always said if you're gonna snack, bring enough for everyone.
That is the one box.
Do you know what a Costco is, the dude?
Come out here every year. You want
Costco is like a big warehouse type food place in the States here, and that's where I bought this big bucket.
them. The Daytona 500 for
this big bucket of pretzels.
You come down here every year working hard and doing your best and preparing to
And I've done some damage to it.
for everybody. And when it comes down to that last lap, I don't know if you want to be first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, Nicole, it was probably a draft, and
You can win from anywhere. You can crown.
I forgot all about that too.
It's going to be fun to watch. Thanks, Scott. Bye.
I want to be leading. That's what I want to be.
I'm about 3/4 of a way through it, Glenn.
For his dad's team, Rick
I've been a pretzel eating fool.
Operation. The biggest little team in racing, they call themselves.
All right, Cody Ware in this 51 Ford.
3 IndyCar races last year.
Oh, I take that back. Jacques Villeneuve.
Who 12th fastest?
Man, Hemrick went out first and put a lap up, and nobody can get it.
In the going is Hesburgh Racing.
Jacques Villeneuve, the 1997 F1 champion, 50 years old.
Whose son, Loris, is the NASCAR Euro champion and will run this car in a number of...
FJ says Valhalla's destroying that container.
See Jock out there.
Yes.
What a
The dude says we know Costco. We have a similar store here.
on everything, but he hasn't won our Daytona 500, and I think it's so cool that he's here trying to do just that.
The Canadian has made 4 starts in the Cup Series. The last one coming in 2013. Jack
Malu says stupid Olympics made no room for live feed in Canada. China screwed us again.
champion.
Huh. FJ says I've never been able to eat plain pretzels. I need something on them, like chocolate.
The 2 open cars so far.
Which is so important.
All right, here comes the Floyd Mayweather car, that 50.
2 of them are going to qualify.
Pit Viper Chevrolet.
Very, very important to see what he did being the lead.
Bobby left us, but this Kaz Gralla is from Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston, Mass. Kaz Gralla. He had made 3 starts in 2021, all on super speed.
Nope, Biff's time was just not good enough.
You won't miss that car out on track, and you saw the launch of Ricky Stenhouse, former 500 pole center.
And right here is, as a driver, you hear him going up to the gearbox. I want you to listen to this.
Oh, this car is much slower, Nicole.
Squeeze it from behind the wheel.
It's on FS1, SD Gaming, FS1.
On track, Kaz Gralla for Floyd Mayweather.
Len says my teeth are suspect. I have to eat pretzel sticks.
Ricky Stenhouse coming up to speed.
FJ says Valhalla's doing ASMR eating the pretzels.
There it is.
Pet pretzel sticks with ranch?
But the reason I say that, all right.
What?
Every gear is the same
What?
all across the board for everybody. That is an implemented gear from NASCAR, right? First, second, third, fourth, and fifth. But every engine manufacturer and builder is a little bit different in the sense of how they pull through a torque range or how they want to shift. Do they want to ring that baby all the way out to the rev limiter all the way through? But don't hit that rev limiter. If you hit that rev limiter, blah, 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 and that thing slows the car down, that's momentum loss that you will not gain back. So all of those things are very important to hit your marks.
Stenhouse.
He needs 6.
Stenhouse way back there.
And by the way, Kaz Gralla, second among the open cars. That means Biffle is going to have to race his...
Uh-oh, Gralla beat Biffle in the time. So that puts Biffle in trouble. He has to race his way in tomorrow.
Ricky Stenhouse, Daytona winner.
Stenhouse isn't going to get the pole here either.
And we expected this JTG Nordic car to show a little more speed.
I did. You know, Brian Patty's always...
177 up in here. Welcome to Valhalla Sports Talk's coverage of front row qualifying for the Daytona 500.
Daytona 500. Do I need a car to handle?
Stenhouse 11th out of 18.
Rolling success in the Daytona 500.
Stenhouse is 11th for now. Jamie?
Joey Logano won the big race in 2015. Joey, based on what you're seeing, do you think you have a shot at the pole here?
Nicole says Snyder's has good flavored pretzel sticks.
Safe for practice because there's so many cars on the racetrack and who got help on a run and who didn't. So
These are
sure what Chuck Benzo Mustang it really has for single car speed.
are the San Francisco Pretzel Company sourdough pretzels.
Wait and see. You know, I don't know why we're all slow.
Nicole says only mustard for dipping pretzels.
But we'll just have to wait and see and put it to the wood and hope for the best.
Thank you.
FJ says mustard is only good on corn dogs and brats.
For college racing, We'll run the full season now.
Nicole's changing her prediction. 182 will win the pole.
And he is the teammate of the current fastest qualifier that you see on our ghost car, Daniel Henry.
Boss, why's his car faster than mine? I want to know what's going on here. What do you mean? Going back to what I just said. A lot of different mentalities and what it's going to take to find success down here. You want the thing to handle, you want it to be fast.
Justin Haley out, currently 8th.
Haley is 8th quickest. And he might have had a little extra drag in the car right here.
Uh-oh, dragging.
I was talking about. Got a little
Dragging that front corner of the splitter. They don't really have splitters anymore, do they? Because it's a unibody.
That's a turn 4.
But I will say that he had already lost his speed.
All right, here we go. A racer out of Phoenix, J.J. Yeley, hometown Phoenix, Arizona, 45 years old. He finished second in the 07 Coca-Cola 600.
Only driver with a top 10 in Indy 500. J.J. Yeley has one. He's a multiple use.
Today he's driving the 55 Ford Hex.com. Pretty cool paint scheme. I like it.
Starts here, racing for MBM Motorsports. And Yaley is going to...
Glenn says these cars are sealed up underneath, flat on the bottom. So supposed to help when they're big bunches, not as much dirty air.
To be one of the top 2.
I heard they were flat on the bottom. I'd like to see one.
Yaley, 52 seconds flat. There's your defending 500 champ. Michael McDowell.
Man, Yaley threw the worst lap of the day, I believe.
Former pole winner here at Daytona for the 500. What do you got this time?
I don't know. I think that
Austin Dillon getting interviewed.
Off-road Chevy should be pretty good. Really worked on handling more.
Austin Dillon, now 31 years old, out of Welcome, North Carolina. He's got 3 Cup wins.
He's got some big power, and maybe we got a little bit more. Go out there and have a chance this fall.
We're about to find out.
FJ says NASCAR seems to do really well for you, Valhalla. I'm already got into F1 and I'm trying to get into NASCAR.
24.
Well, appreciate it, FJ.
55 and 66 for NBM Motorsports. Sorry.
Aaron says Hex car, let's go.
Another one of those 6 that are racing their way in.
All right, here's that bumper.com Ford.
When we had really big fields.
Who's that, Timmy Hill?
Jerry left the race. He did make 8 Cup Series starts.
Yep, Timmy Hill on the track now.
Villeneuve and Gralla, 5101 and 5109. Right now have the top 2 spots of the Open group. So far, so safe. 52.26 for Hill. And that will leave just Noah Gregson of the Open.
Hill didn't get it done, y'all.
And we'll know which 2. We know.
Richard says you are killing it up in here, up in here.
He's on the track back.
Yeah, I appreciate you folks for joining me today. I didn't know what kind of numbers we would do. I had no idea.
Last year,
One of my first streams ever on the channel was NASCAR, and it was me and our buddy Gil, who's a member on the channel. We were the only 2 here. FJ says everybody drop a like for Mr. Pretzel Murder.
In his honor, they come to Daytona, they come to Talladega, and they usually bring a pretty strong.
SD's gonna miss the last generation cars.
Shine. You know, every time it was in that thing, you look over your shoulder.
I'm worried for Harvick in this new car because the last go around with a car a lot like this one, that next gen car, he had some rough years during that whole thing. That's when Jimmy Johnson was dominating.
Lock himself into the 500.
The car of tomorrow, remember that?
Try and race his way in tomorrow night on FS1.
This is Noah Gregson in the 62.
He does it. Sure does. 50-68. Noah Gregson will race in the 500. Now Jack Villeneuve on speed.
Oh, wow. Gregson in the 500 on speed. Okay, we're headed to a commercial break, y'all. Headed to a commercial break, our second one. 22 cars have gone so far. Lots of big names left, of course. Lots of big names left. Malu says you need a whiskey on the rocks with them pretzels. No, not tonight, my man. Nicole says when qualifying's over, I got me some hot wings waiting on you. Well, there you go. Maybe that's what I'll do for the 500 is some wings. Some chicken wings. Dole Whip Dad checks in, says, hey, Valhalla Sports Talk. What's up, Dole Whip Dad? How you doing, man? FJ says, Valhalla, I don't want to get off topic, but you saw Joe Burrow won't need surgery. I did see that. The dude says, what else am I going to do at 1:45 on a Thursday morning when there's NASCAR to chat about? There you go. Exactly. Sammy says, I personally love the car of tomorrow cars. Yeah, they're going through them quick. I didn't figure this would take more than about an hour and a half, 2 hours max. But we got 162 in the house. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like. Turn on them bell notifications so you know when Valhalla Sports Talk goes online. We'll be back tomorrow night for the duels at Daytona. And then on Sunday, we'll be doing the big show, the Daytona 500. Dole Whip Dad says, I'm great, my friend. Praying for some baseball in April. Saw you were on. Had to pop in. Appreciate it, man. Man, I hope they get this baseball thing together, dude. I hope they can get it together. Anytime there's money involved, I get really worried. And I am really worried. We're officially not going to start spring training on time. Nicole says, so do the Vikings have a new head coach yet? Yep. He was introduced today. The dude says, like bomb dropped and I subbed too. Appreciate it, the dude. All right, let's get back to it. Full moon in Daytona, y'all. Big old full moon.
Returning for 2022. 9 wins last year. They've scored 4 Daytona 500s. But this young man, Kyle Busch, has won 49 times.
All right, that M&M's 18 is out on the track, y'all.
He won the July race at Daytona in 2008. He's not won the 500.
And you know that has to bother him. All these wins, championships.
They're talking about how the only big race that Kyle Busch has never won is the Daytona 500. He's won all of the crown jewel races, won a ton of races at the NASCAR Cup level, but has never taken home that Daytona 500 trophy. Doug Wall, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud. Kyle Busch right there with that 16 of Hemrick.
The track is still the fastest car. Hanging tough, and this is where
here goes Busch to the outside. Can he pick up some speed out there?
This is the first Gibbs car that we've seen on the racetrack. And
sitting in 4th so far.
The car is still hanging tough for these boys.
Cutting it down low here.
Tony Stewart. He's the only driver who has led more laps in the Daytona 500 without winning it than.
Oh, yeah, I'll let you say that to Tony.
I don't think he's going to get there, y'all.
That's the top of the share, too.
I'll just give it to you and leave it there.
Is Wallace's 2nd spot safe, though?
All right, the top 10 down to the yellow line.
Nope, 4th. 4th for the 18 of Kyle Busch.
Martin Truex Jr. just keeping an eye on his teammate Kyle there. What's your take on what you saw from him and your chances?
Yeah, I mean, it looked fairly straightforward.
They're locked out right now, Sammy. The Major League players are locked out.
I have no idea where we're going to end up.
Nicole, for my Dodger streams, I do about 400 most of the time. We've done thousands.
This is the year.
Speaking of close, look at Ryan Blaney right here. Absolutely.
Peter says you might see the underside of a new car on Sunday. I'm sure one will be on their lid. Yeah, the duels are tomorrow.
Hey, he's waving the same guy Briscoe was back there in the back.
Patrick Partridge, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor, we proud. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Try to clean up that window area.
22 car has not gone out yet, Madison.
As he steers it at 180 miles an hour with one hand. Man, it's right there.
The dude likes the baseball mascots.
Shows you how smooth the kid, like I was asking about that bracket pinion steer.
Yeah, the duels are on Thursday, and they will be on the channel, y'all.
Top 3 in his last.
All right, Blaney out there, and he's right there.
Blaney,
2nd.
1/1000th of a second.
Ooh, that's close.
Is second.
50.16, good enough for 2nd, the outside front row.
Determined the 10 drivers who will run for the pole. And right now, Justin Haley.
I missed the name.
Very good point.
Donovan Kobe something or another. Welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud. Sorry I missed it. I was typing in the car.
For the Texan, for RFK, Roush Fenway Kowalski Racing.
I'd look for this to be a good lap. His teammate.
All right, who's this? Chris Bushler in the 17 Ford. Fastenal Ford.
But I don't see that happening with Bushler.
Malu says the 22 car should just stay in the garage. Not a fan of Logano. Not exactly a fan there.
And he's loving those chromes, the numbers on that car.
We're going to show you Denny Hamlin's launch from pit road.
The dude says, can we look down the list to see who's left to run? Sure. There you go, buddy.
11 just misses the cutoff by 6/100ths of a second.
No, he's a good driver, Madison. Actually, he's a really good driver.
Start in the Cup Series at Talladega last April, finished 20th. He has 4 wins in the Xfinity Series.
All right, Harrison Burton out there, the 21-year-old out of Huntersville, North Carolina.
And 5 different Daytona 500 wins with 5 different drivers, including A.J. Foyt 50 years ago, who won the great race by nearly 2 laps over second-place Charlie Whiteside.
All right, Hamlin launching off pit road for his qualifying lap.
And he's focused. Look at them eyeballs.
Malu says the 22 seems to cause all the wrecks, and Nicole says he's a spoiled kid, but he gets it done. No problem, dude. So top 2 as we sit now, Hemrick and Blaney sitting on the front row.
Top of the chart for the Wood Brothers.
Uh-oh.
13.
Burton goes to the 1 spot in that 21 Ford.
Kurt Busch.
What?
There you Rook. How about some pressure there? Starting on the hey, if you start on the front row of the Daytona 500 as a rookie, look out! Big time pressure. Good for you, Harrison Burton. See you maybe in the next round. Well, am I speaking too soon?
No.
I'm thinking he's going to be in that round 2.
How about Denny Hamlin?
Here goes Hamlin.
He's won half of the last 6.
Hamlin's sitting right there. Come on, Hamlin. Can he find some more speed for that FedEx car? Yep, 3-time winner of the Daytona 500, trying to put that 11 on the pole.
Watching the car camera, than what we saw Blaney when I watched him in his in-car camera. You see that car really bouncing hard, especially.
The race starts on Sunday, Madison.
Different cars. Pretty rigid.
I'm trying, buddy. Hamlin, second.
Second for Hamlin, 50-15.
Business is picking up, Mike.
That puts Kurt Busch out of the top 10. Ty Dillon now on the bump spot. Noah Gragson from Las Vegas celebrating that he is going to be in the Daytona 500, Jamie.
Well, they missed the field last year. Look at one Las Vegas to the next. Noah, you made the Daytona 500. What are those emotions for you now?
Oh, it's pretty special. I mean, we have
The dude says number 4, Kevin Harvick, gonna roast some tires, I think.
RCR.
Cage King, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
Yeah, the beautiful this dude. And
Yep, a rookie at Daytona and put it on the front row.
they love me.
So far. Of course I remember Jimmy Johnson.
He called me about a year and a half ago.
Malu has a good question for the chat. He says, what are the chatter's thoughts on the rear view camera versus mirror in the car? For those of you that don't know, they don't have a rear view mirror in the cars anymore. It's literally a camera that looks out of the back of the car so the driver doesn't have to look through the rear spoiler. And it shows up on an LCD screen on the dash.
This very proud.
First, Ross Chastain in the 1 car. What?
Ross Chastain, who will be driving his 4th Daytona 500 for a
121 now.
The watermelon farmer from Alva, Florida, has just taken the Team Trackhouse to the top of the wall.
Absolutely, by pretty good measure, too. Trackhouse boys showing some speed.
What?
For Richard Childress Racing.
All right, there goes Dillon.
Last August,
Austin Dillon headed out now.
Series champion. Had a career season in Cup last year, making the playoffs.
Another one of those ECR engines that you just heard Noah talking about.
Let's go up top and see the top 10 or so.
His teammate Austin Dillon is a former pole sitter for the 500.
So the top 10 now: Chastain, Burton, Hamlin, Hemrick, Blaney, Riddick, Wallace, Keselowski, Busch, and Briscoe.
So you're seeing it right there, just continuing to fall off just a little bit more.
I didn't see Logano go out.
6th for Tyler Reddick, 50-19. And that will knock Eric Jones out of the top 10, moves Chase Briscoe onto the bubble. 10 drivers will go back out and make one lap for the pole.
Man, it was funny earlier, too. It wasn't just...
Oh, so apparently the top 10 drivers will go out and make one lap for the pole. Is that what I just heard?
I can't figure out which person they keep waving to back there. Oh, with that hand up the left window? Joey Logano right from the...
Oh, I know. I know, Nicole. Them Hendrick cars are tough.
Joey's the 2015 Daytona 500 champion. In the last 5 races here.
The dude says, who cares what's behind you when you're winning?
Love the way this
Now Logano's out there, so they've gone out of order a little bit.
is making in that car. I'm going to be able to see cars as they approach him, move under him, be a lot of racing. That's a great shot right there. Andy, you're sitting right behind me. I'm giving you props, baby. Good placement on that camera.
And Logano looks like he's going to be one of those who runs for the pole. 5th.
All right, Logano puts it in 5th.
That knocks out Chase Briscoe and puts
50.16, 179.43 miles an hour.
Chastain, the only cat with it, showing an 05 up there. There's a 0 in front of it, man. A lot of teens. I'm getting nervous if I'm in those teen category right here.
Now here's Tyler Reddick's teammate, Austin Dillon. He won the Daytona 500 in 2018. Finished 3rd last year and sat on the pole here.
All right, there's Dillon in that Bass Pro Shops Tracker Boat Chevrolet.
And finishes at Daytona than any other track on the Cup Series.
And that's hard to accomplish, Mike. Having it being consistent.
So if I understood this right, the top 10 will go out and do one lap,
Consistent finish.
and those will be the times that determine the front row.
Can happen that are out of your control. To be able to be in the running at the end of a big race like this, 500-mile race.
Yeah, it looks like it, Nicole.
And not only him, his spotter and that communication amongst them.
Well, he was flirting with the top 10, but Austin Dillon will end up 12th.
Dillon 12th.
Series champ Kyle Larson getting ready to run. And Daniel Suarez, the team track.
All right, there's Suarez out there in that 99 car.
I like this one too.
30 years old, and he hails from Monterrey, Mexico.
Running it pretty rigid across the front and the rear, trying to keep this thing down for the arrow.
Oh, you can see that camera that I was just talking about. It's right next to the digital readout in front of the driver. It's about the size of a rearview mirror
Driver won a major NASCAR championship.
in your passenger car.
He was the Xfinity Series champ.
Interesting.
I'm partial to this one, man. My man Steve, everybody over at Tootsie's, one of my favorite bars in the country.
Has anyone ever been to this bar that Suarez is advertising for, Tootsie's?
Well, he needs to be in the teens to break into the top 10.
Welcome to the channel, Dave Rhodes.
Like he will.
I'll put a couple dollars on the race, Richard.
Wow.
I hope so, SD Gavin.
Suarez with a 50-15, great lap.
Nicole says, I appreciate you doing this. It's funner than watching on TV.
10 drivers to go. Ross Chastain is fastest. Martin Truex.
All right, we got 10 to go, y'all. 10 racers to go.
2020 champ Chase Elliott and the defending series champ Kyle Larson.
All right, so our third commercial break here. So these 10 drivers go, and then they take the top 10 and let them do one lap to determine the front row. Peter says that is something new to race for the pole. Sammy says Loy Allen Jr. was the first rookie to be the pole win in 1994. I thought the last couple years, I thought that kid in the 24, William Byron, I thought he was on the pole, and I thought Bowman got on the pole a couple years back as well. Dave says, I'm over for Pete's channel. That's how I found you. Appreciate it, Dave. Pete McDevitt, a friend of the channel, y'all. Definitely one of the friends to the channel. Looking through YouTube right now to see if anyone else is even doing this. I don't think there's a ton. At least people that I know anyway. Holy crap, we picked up a ton of subscribers, y'all, in this one. We picked up a bunch of subscribers, went from 7512 to 7546. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. That's cool. I didn't know the exact number of days, Madison. Cage King says, I thought Danica won the pole in her rookie year. Did she? I didn't think so. I could be wrong, though. Madison likes the cars on the bottom of the screen. Dude says, who is my recommendation for a bet on the race? $10 for Harvick to be in the top 10, only to wreck out near the end. Ouch. Ouch, but you got a point.
Here is Jamie with a driver who has almost
I don't know, the bet that seems one to make every year seems to be either Logano or Denny Hamlin, right?
You can take all your marks again.
I always put 10 on Harvick, though.
I never did this stuff right, but that was okay. If I did that again, that's about all they're going to get out of me. That was just testament to the Trackhouse team.
Yeah, they're not going to race. They'll just go out and do one more lap.
You know, the work. We went to LA and we didn't make the race, so
NASCAR dude says Danica did win the pole in 2013. Interesting.
that fast is really cool.
the gap from first to second.
No problem, Peter. Appreciate you, man.
From second all the way to 15th. That's how tight this field is.
All right, so this is that 20 car out there right now of Christopher Bell carrying that DeWalt sponsorship. Remember that DeWalt sponsorship when Kenseth used to run it all the time?
I think they're going to be on a tear here in Daytona, and obviously their speed is showing that.
Right now, it takes 50-19 to break into the top 10. I think it's going to take a 15 or better to make it into the second round.
I don't know that I've ever seen in my career time.
Nicole says her driver Haley Dugan is going to race in the truck race on Friday.
This car, and obviously that was the intention all along.
Christopher Bell is going to bump into the top 10. 8th at a 58.
All right, Bell got into 8th position there, knocked Keselowski out of the top 10.
On to the bubble. 9 drivers to go. Ross Chastain is now assured of moving on to road.
Martin Truex Jr., 41 years old, out of Marietta, New Jersey. The 17 Cup Series champ on the track.
Set on the pole here in 2009 for Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. And he was strong down to the green.
Licky, Mike. Man, it's so close right there. Roll through 1 and 2 extremely well. And then
Where is Keselowski sitting? He's in 11th currently, just outside of the top 10.
some of the variables there that are going on too.
Truex real close here, though.
That's under the hood is temperature related. You know, you can't
Truex real close, about a half hood's length to go
teams will like to either block that thing all the way off or run it open.
for him to take that top spot from Chastain.
Decision, create some of that speed that you
Definitely looks like he's going to be in that top 10.
to see if that's what we saw.
Martin Truex moves to Ross
Truex in the 2 spot.
50.07. Knocking out Bubba Wallace and moving Tyler Reddick onto the pole.
So close.
Top 3, Chevy, Toyota, Ford. Chastain Truex and Harrison Burton. Kevin Harvick.
All right, let's go, Harvick. He doesn't look fast enough, though, y'all.
Last season, for the first time in a long time. He has one front row start at Daytona in the 500. It came in 2002 for Richard Childress.
I'm not even sure he looks top 10 fast.
Right there. Looks like he's got kind of grippers, if you will, where he's holding his hands. And he's another thing that I've noticed is how he's not holding that steering wheel with his thumb anymore.
Richard has $10 on Cinder to win. Harvick's out there right now, Mitch.
If you wreck with a rack and pinion steering,
Nicole says these speeds are like it's the 1970s.
grip the wheel out of your hand and break your thumb. So his
Harvick currently 19th.
right there driving with his thumbs not at the spokes of that wheel.
A quarter second off the fast time. Kevin Harvick is 19th.
So a 50.31.
Hangs on to the 10th. The bubbles.
Not a good qualifying lap for Harvick.
For the pole.
Michael McDowell, last year's Daytona 500 winner, out on the track in that 34 Loves
Champion getting
Ford.
First Cup Series win here last year in his 358 start.
What's up, Bradley?
Smash and grab in turn 3 on the final lap.
One of the biggest nights of his life. I'll never forget it. It was awesome to be able to call that race and see everything go down. I couldn't talk fast enough, and I know that's saying something come from me, but I couldn't. It was unbelievable to watch that all go down from this vantage point and be able to hear you call that.
McDowell currently 11th.
It's pretty amazing.
Yes,
Can he pick it up?
Boy, McDowell is close to the top 10.
and I love when a sponsor gets behind something like that.
Nicole says they've already handicapped the Fords with that front bumper.
Family in the bus stopped at a Love's truck and stuff, and lo and behold, they were so proud, blowing up.
50.209 for McDowell, 179.25 miles an hour.
Sponsor.
All right, here we go. Chase Elliott in that Napa 9 car headed out there, the Chevrolet. 174 in the house.
Has 3 straight top 10s at Daytona.
Donovan Kobe Swery says my 2010 Camaro SS with a 6.2 supercharge goes 189. I'd beat all these guys. Newer isn't always better.
Speed right here. Maybe have something for the pole. Chase was the 500's youngest ever pole sitter.
Little Nicky says they just want to make sure all the GM butt buddies have a chance. Bradley says no drinking and driving, Valhalla. You know how I always have a football or a baseball or something in my hand for these streams? I should find a steering wheel.
This is going to be a lap down.
I should get me a steering wheel for NASCAR streams. Glenn's wondering when they're going to add some turn signals to these cars.
Chase Elliott will run for the pole.
Elliott, the 1 spot, y'all. Boom.
Shots fired.
Yep, that pops Tyler Reddick out of the top 10. Christopher Bell now on the bubble. 4 Chevys, 3 Fords, and 3 Toyotas right now in the top 10.
And if you're going to have a chance to pull, you're going to have to beat this cat right here.
All right, here comes that Alex Bowman in the 48 Ally Chevrolet.
They come down here, and just like you're seeing right there, beat even their own teammates in speed.
Alex Bowman for Rick Hendrick.
Malou says, seriously, mark my words, if the 22 is in the top 10 in the last 2 laps, he will cause a crash.
That includes 2 poles and 2 outside poles for Heed.
Wow, he's way ahead of Chase's pace right now. Way ahead of Chase's pace. Bowman in that 48, almost a half a car length in front of Chase's speed.
They may all be in the 49s.
Bowman, first spot.
Bowman the showman, 49.87.
Seems like he lives on the front row at Daytona.
Tip of the cap to great guys and that whole crew for continuing to be able to bring speed. Again, it's one thing to beat the competition, the rest of the competition. It's another. There's 3 other cars.
Hendrick dominates at Daytona for that front row in qualifying. Come on, Amarola. Eric Amarola, the Stuart Haas, number 10, Smitty Field, Ford Mustang.
In the Cup Series. He came within 1 100.
Not true, that dude. Not true.
Daytona 500, he got Austin Dillon.
Nicole says a simulator set up for the steering wheel. I think I have a steering wheel in the garage from when I used to race online.
His teammates Chase Briscoe, Kevin Harvick, and Cole Custer. This lap looks really.
Trucker Cowboy Ed, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
In a final round of 10.
Lucha, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
94, he's the first.
Amarola third. A little speed for a Ford finally.
Third driver overall.
Great lap.
A little speed for a Ford. So the top 5 is Chevy, Ford, Chevy, Toyota.
Truex, Chastain, Elliott, and
All right, here goes William Byron in that 24.
went to the local New Smyrna Speedway the other night.
So the only 3 left to go are Byron, Larson, and Cindric.
The only thing he's winning.
Top 2 finishes in his last 5 Daytona starts, including a win here in August of 2020. Pole sitter here with crew chief Chad Knaus.
He's way up there. He's in front of the 48 by a full car length.
And you know Jeff Gordon's going to tell us.
That's a beautiful paint scheme on that car, too.
Oh my God, run up front. I ain't having it. There's no way he had anything to do with this 24 car being up front.
Trucker says, am I crazy thinking Larson might actually get the pole? He could.
Top of the heap.
Boom. So now it's Byron Bowman, 24-48. We've seen that movie before.
Hey, there's still one more.
And it's the defending series champ, Kyle Larson.
There goes Larson right now.
Finish at Daytona or Talladega. That may change now that he's the champ. His best start in this race was 8th for Chip Ganassi.
Right now, he's right even.
Right now, Hendrick Chevys have the top 3 spots, and it looks like they're going to go 4 for 4.
It looks like they're driving the same car. There's 2 cars right there, and they are overlying one another. I cannot wait to see this final round of 10, because there's another aspect to this, right? We're watching this first round right here.
Crazy, y'all.
You have to be careful, and you got to,
Yeah, no doubt, Nicole. He looked a lot more stable.
You got to be careful. Getting back around there, using all those gears, downshift, get this thing slowed down and not drag much speed out of it, because they want to use this for the second round.
We'll make the next round. You'll remember what we talked about.
It's exactly what he probably was telling us right there.
All right, so they're backing off a little bit in the 5 there. So now it's 24-5, and Larson led off at the end there.
Are under 50 seconds.
Wow. What are you thinking if you're the competition right now, Mike?
What are you thinking if you're Daniel Hendrick? You led this qualifying session all the way until the Hendrick cars came out, and now you're not even in the top 10.
Crazy.
Well, I'm talking about the speed of my car if I'm Daniel Hendrick.
All right, so the 10 that will race for the pole are Byron, Larson, Bowman, Elliott, Amarola, Chastain, Truex, Alejandro. Welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud. Burton, Hamlin, and Suarez. That'll be the 10 racing for the pole.
Last year, then finished 15th in the...
Oh, wait, we got one out there still. Cindric's still out there.
And he raced...
So he could crash this party still.
He rolls 24 hours.
I look for big things out of him this year. I really do. I think he's just
Yeah, he led off, Trucker. He led off Trucker Cowboy right at the end there. His pit crew said, remember what we talked about, and then you could hear him come out of the throttle.
I like that out of a rip. Misses it by 5/100. Cindric is 21st.
All right, so Cindric didn't break that party in the top 10. So it's 24, 5, 48, 9, 10, 1, 19, 21, 11, 99.
Larson second, and William Byron first, all 14
All right, so they're headed to a commercial break, and they'll come back and let those 10 cars do one lap to determine the front row for the Daytona 500. 196 in the chat. Yeah, William Byron, that 24 and the 48, they seem to live on that front row at Daytona. Trucker Cowboy says, I think Burton's going to be impressive this year. All right, so we know who the 10 are, y'all. We know who the 10 are, Chad. Who's your pick for the poll? Who's your pick for the front row, let's say? I'm going to just say Byron Bowman. That's my pick. Byron Bowman. Larson might have been sneaking something there, but I think it's going to bite him in the booty. I think Larson might have been sandbagging a little bit, y'all. Nicole says the 5 and the 9. Man, the Hendrick Motorsports Chevy's sitting there 1, 2, 3, 4. That's insane. One, two, three, four for the Hendrick Motorsports cars. Is this going to be another thing with this new car where Hendrick just dominates for the next 3 years? That's what happened with the car tomorrow. That's what happened with the car tomorrow, y'all. I don't know, his crew talked to him on the radio just when he was about to probably come down the last 200, 300 yards and told him, remember what we talked about, and you could audibly hear him come off the gas. So he was sandbagging. Without a doubt, he was sandbagging. Sammy says, I think it'll be the 5 and the 48. Glenn's got to go with the 9. The front 2 rows probably, huh, Trucker Cowboy, the way this thing's going. They'll put 2 on the front row and then win both the duels tomorrow night. All right, I think we're getting back to it. Again, full moon in Daytona.
Is complete for Daytona 500, and we now know the 10 cars that will run for the pole.
All right, I missed the name on the last subscriber there, but welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor will be proud.
Advancing and putting the rookie Harrison Burton driving for the Wood Brothers and 2 Toyota's teammates at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Lost Knowledge says Hendrick Motorsports has been cheating for a long time now.
The cars rolled. It's all about Hendrick Motorsports. They didn't disappoint.
There's Alejandro Tapia says the 48 and the 5.
Yeah, we've got a new car.
Nicole says Sammy knows his stuff. Yeah, Bowman lives on the front row.
They went so late in that session.
Dave's pick is the 5.
This car, the wheel bearings,
Eli says 9 and 48.
they can certainly run faster in this second round. They can go faster. Absolutely. Everything's got heat in it now. That's good. How is it possible? Let's hear from one of those Hendrick Chevy drivers. Here's Jamie Lewis.
William Byron
All right, they're going to interview Byron here. I'll let you hear it.
feel as good as it looked.
You know, it felt smooth, and I felt like, Rudy's always got kind of a little bit of speed up his sleeve. So he's a great crew chief, and, I honestly qualified, I just hold the wheel and try to hit my shifts right. I felt
Yusiki says Suarez and Chastain.
got a little better there.
What's up, Straight Shooter?
Just thankful to be in this Exalted Chevrolet. It looks amazing.
Nice, man.
Jeff, everybody back.
That was like every day for me growing up in El Segundo there, Straight Shooter. Planes flying over every day.
To be in it and see what we do here in the second round. That's what really counts. So I hope that
Trucker says no Hendricks, just good, but others, of course, haters make excuses for their drivers sucking.
How much energy?
They certainly dominated that whole period of the car tomorrow.
I don't know. I'm sure more between the crews and stuff. Drivers probably nothing, but no. Either way, I mean, really cool for Hendrick Motorsports to be 1 through 4. So huge shout out to Ninja Chop. Hopefully, we can still be 1 through 4 after this next round. But either way, really cool. Happy with our Hendrick Motorsports car. HendrickCars.com on it. Car looks great. So try and be 1 spot better here in this next round.
Well, there's no doubt those Hendrick Chevys have stole the show here. 2 other Chevrolet.
RJ Day, welcome to the Berserkers. General Thor, be proud.
Yeah, they have to be awfully proud of that effort.
175 in the house, y'all.
Think about all the changes, a new shop and a second team, so they have to be happy.
175 up in here. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow night for the duels from Daytona to figure out positions 2 through 42 for the Daytona 500. 500. And then we'll be back on Sunday for the 64th running of the Daytona 500 here on Valhalla Sports Talk.
Second career start. This race, all about history. Good history repeat itself. And Harrison
Nicole says the car tomorrow sucked. Bye-bye, Brian France.
drivers going for the pole. Cars back on track when we return to Daytona.
All right, so they're going to one more commercial here before they let the 10 run. Before they let the 10 run. Anybody in the chat live in Daytona? $75.61 is a subscriber count, y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Means a lot. Means a lot. Put a lot of effort in this overlay. I'm trying to do a little something different here on the channel, and man, you guys have come through. You have come through like champions. Thursday, I usually get on, Nicole, about 30 minutes prior to the event. So I can't remember when it starts tomorrow. I think it's like 4 or something my time. But I'll be on 30 minutes prior to the event. The dude says Chase Elliott for the pole. Cage King says, let's go Chastain. Malu says the front row guys in the duels can do full fuel runs and tire wear, so they're going to gauge that stuff and record it for the 500. That's true. Plus, they can decide to just stay out of trouble the entire time, can't they? A big scare this year is that a lot of these teams only have one car in Daytona. A lot of teams do not have backup cars in Daytona for the weekend. Of course, it's only an 8-hour drive from most of the shops in Charlotte to get another car down there. But a lot of these teams do not have backup cars prepped. Exactly, Trucker Cowboy. Basically, they just get a free practice session. Glenn says, you deserve it, Valhalla. You bring it every stream. Peter says, I wish I was in Orlando. I'm freezing in Canada. I'm really excited, Straight Shooter. Crazy excited for what's going on with the Vikings. Crazy excited. It feels like a new beginning. A new beginning and a badly needed new beginning. All right, well, I think we're about to get back to it, y'all.
Cars came here not locked in. No Gregson, Jacques Villeneuve have put themselves into 500 with their qualifying run tonight.
All right, so there you go. The top 10 are listed. Those 10 cars will race for the front row.
Mike Joy.
Well, they will race for time anyway.
Sports, as Rex had told us, the smallest team here, and they're going to be in the big race on Sunday. So 10 drivers are about to run for the pole, Clint, in 2019.
Yeah, we stay away from that politics stuff, the dude. We just stay away from it.
Who has the best chance to put a dent?
Dunn's Vlog says Alex Bowman will get the pole in that 48. Malu says it's going to be the 5 and the 9.
Further than Eric Almirola. I think he has a chance at a 90. He's so close to breaking up all 4 of those Hendrick cars. I think he's the one that I'm looking at, but it could be anybody. Little tricks up your sleeve. The last 10 right here. This is where.
So Boyer's saying that if anyone breaks up that 4-car group up front there, it could be Eric Almirola in the 10.
For Sunday's Daytona 500, 10 cars, 1 lap.
Man, they're going to another commercial. What the hell is going on? What happened with the SKU cars? I know there's a number of the cars that have SKU. Harvick was one of them that skewed the car heavily yesterday during the first practice, and it didn't help him at all today. I heard yesterday that did not help, and I think if Harvick skewed it today, it probably hurt him badly. Yeah, it looks like the order will be Chastain, Larson, Elliott, Almirola, Hamlin, Truex, Burton, Byron, Bowman, Suarez. And I think when we're talking about skew on these new cars, really what you're talking about is moving the spoiler from one side far out to the other, just the spoiler, if I understood what they were saying right yesterday. I'm not sure how they picked the order. I'm not sure how they picked it. Maybe it was a random deal, because it sure is mixed up. It sure is mixed up. It's not like... it might have been a random deal, unless it was the order that they got out on the line. Richard says the optimum for Vikings is through the roof. Looking forward to seeing the new offense in 2022. Me too, Richard. Me too, man. Anything new. We just need a new fresh start, man. Need a fresh start. But 153 in the chat here for front row qualifying day at Daytona. Appreciate the support on the channel tonight. It's been way cool and surprising. Nicole says, I thought you couldn't mess with the car body. You can apparently move the spoiler from side to side, Nicole. If I understood what they were saying correctly yesterday. Let's get back to it.
2 of them will earn front row starting spots for Sunday. Everyone else will get their positions in the Thursday dual races. The 10 fastest...
Trucker says the skew is crabbing the cars. Did in practice they look sideways. That exactly. That's what I was saying. Harvick's car looked completely sideways in practice yesterday. On his second run. Chris says they were just giving the cars time to cool down here.
Qualifying for the Daytona 500.
T. Van says Byron on the pole. All right, it's Suarez going out first, y'all. So this order that they gave us was bullshit.
Right now, you want to make that track as big.
Suarez, the first car out.
Gain as much momentum as you can. You can see fifth gear right there, already in, holding that gap in between the window and that A-frame piece that you see. But that's why. You want to make this track as big as possible.
So Suarez was the slowest, so maybe they're going to make him go from slowest to fastest?
Just slowly but surely, you're going to see him start migrating down to the bottom of the racetrack and then making his...
Again, one lap is all they get here.
Here he goes.
7,800 RPM. That gap between the window net and the post is required to be there by NASCAR, partly so the driver can see that rear view mirror. But
Peter Swan says, I'm in Ontario. FS1 has it. I'm not paying extra.
You can see it right there. Such an important mirror. When I was drafting here, I wanted visibility out of that left side. You know, the old spotter in the ear, he calls you inside. I want to make sure just how inside he is.
I don't know, dude. I wish they would. That would be fun.
Me near.
You know what else I miss, the dude, is the old days when we had the...
This is going to be a cool cam.
What the hell was that series where they would all run the exact same car, set up the exact same?
that is a camera mounted at the back.
Earnhardt Sr. was in that. Harvick did it a couple years. I forget the... Oh, the IROC series. I think they can move the back...
to log in their time in round 2.
The back spoiler, Nicole.
Faster, not have to. Faster than he was.
All right, so Suarez is sitting there at 1 right now. Not for long, though.
He was outside pole in 2018.
Hamlin out on the track right now. Yeah, the IROC series.
Speed more so in the corners than down the straightaways.
That number in the red box grows. That is the difference between Hamlin and the pole. Now it's coming down, and in a hurry. Will it be enough?
Oh, there he is. He just got green in time. Hamlin takes the 1 spot.
A lot
don't know what happened there. Obviously, our tinder was off a little bit, or he just decided to floor it coming off for turn 4, which I don't think is the case.
Okay, Tom Cruise, grab another gear at turn 4.
Maybe he forgot about.
All right, here we go. Harrison Burton going out. He's ranked 8th going in here. 50.139 was his time earlier. 179.50.
I had dinner at the next table from his folks last night, and Jacob.
He looks to be ahead of Hamlin's pace already.
Jeff and Kim Burton really excited.
In that 21 Wood Brothers Ford.
And the promise of this great season. And Kim said she's going to be a nervous wreck throughout.
Oh, I don't know how she's going to stand it. We've watched her his whole career.
But they can't wait to see it unfold.
And I can't either. Such a good kid, a good family, a racing family.
T-Van misses Speed Channel.
Right. Through all the stepping stones of this sport, he's seen them and been there and done that.
Isn't Fox Sports what used to be the Speed Channel?
Really excited about his opportunity.
Well, he got within 6/10.
Well, Burton in 3rd, y'all.
6/100ths of a second.
So he will have to race for his position in the duels tomorrow night.
Burton, 6/100ths off pole, currently held by Denny Hamlin.
Next one out here. It's a Toyota. Ross Chastain in that one car, I believe.
It's interesting to me to see
No, this is Truex.
cameras, and some just seem to be
This is Truex out on the track right now.
than others.
And he's way ahead of Hamlin's speed.
Fast. Yeah, but it was on TV. It didn't seem like it was as rough riding as.
So another Joe Gibbs Toyota way out in front of another Joe Gibbs Toyota.
That difference right now, and it's 8 times as much as the gap by which Truex lost in 2016.
No, it's almost over, Bill.
To the number 11 of Denny Hamlin.
You can see it right there.
Hunter hopes the Wood brothers get their 100th win this year. He'd love to see it.
That Richard bouncing around, juice towards squeeze.
Fox Sports 1 used to be the Speed Channel.
And it holds at 71.
There we go. Truex Hamlin on the front row as we sit.
So again, we're going from 10th to 1st, using the times for round 1 to line these cars up. You would expect
Ross Chastain on the track now in that number 1 Chevrolet.
Talked about.
6th in the earlier run.
It's everything in the gearbox all the way through.
The number 1 Advent Health Chevrolet.
Temperature where it wants to be.
186 in the chat.
These laps, I look for all of them to be a little bit faster.
this will be Ross Chastain's 4th Daytona 500, and he'll run it with his 4th different team. Premium Motorsports, Spire Motorsports.
He's a little bit behind Truex's, almost a full car length behind a Truex's run there.
They have Phil Surgeon calling the shots for the second year in a row here at Daytona. Moving over from Chip Ganassi Racing, actually stayed with that whole group as they transition to Team Trackhouse.
Trucker Cowboy Ed says, to me, these cars look like they're faster by themselves than the Gen 6 car. I think they said that was true yesterday. I also said they were concerned that there was going to be 2-car tandem drafting in the 500. We'll see how that plays out. Chastain, 2nd, knocks Hamlin off the front row.
5 down, 5 to go. Tampa, Florida's Eric Almirola. His best start in the 500.
All right, here goes Almirola in the 10, Smittyfield Ford. What's up, Justin?
And he has got 3 100s up on Martin Truex.
No problem, Bill. I'll be back tomorrow night and for the 500. Tomorrow night for the duels and Sunday for the 500.
Into that car, really bounced around, going back to that rigidness that I was speaking of. Maybe that's the reason why that car was so much.
Justin is in Daytona, he says, walking around on pit road.
A little bit.
Tell him I said hello.
So it's Almirola's Ford against the 4 Hendrick Camaros for the pole.
Almirola way ahead of Truex's time.
Sure does.
Boom! Stuart Haas to the front row.
Fastest 49.85. That's strong.
What?
That's going to get the old Hendrick boys' attention.
Yes, it
And I said it, man. If anybody can interrupt the old Hendrick brigade, it was going to be Eric in his 10 car, and certainly a very fast.
Yep, he was fast.
Probably the most out of anybody in their first from their first lap there.
I don't.
So from fourth to
It's hard for them to lock the bumpers, Nicole, because there's so much of a curve to this new car in the back end. But they can hook up, and they did during practice yesterday.
Eric just got through 1 and 2, got through the corners better, is pulling him all the way through, just flat out faster.
I hate the universal DH, Dusty, or Dave.
He's gonna break up.
Sorry, I hate the universal DH. They didn't care what I thought, though.
Hendrick Motorsports had the first 4 starting spots.
All right, we got old Chase Elliott out there now. He is behind Amarola's time.
Gonna be a forward in between them.
Boom, Elliott to the 2 spot.
He is second to Almirola by 6/100ths of a second.
Elliott to the 2 spot, front row.
Caught me off guard. This is the one.
All right, here comes Bowman.
4 straight
7 drivers have already run, 3 left.
is the record. If he makes it 5,
Justin says he works for a race team.
the record for all-time front row starters currently.
Yep, almost 200 people up in here
Fame
to
inductee.
see who wins the front row for the Daytona 500. The 48 in front of Amarola's time
2 100s to the
by about a half a car length. Pulling away now. And the 48 bumps Amarola to the 2 spot.
Almost all
No, wait.
flat down the back straightaway, sheer speed.
No, I'm all screwed up. It's Amarola Elliott now. I didn't see that Elliott had that good of a run.
It is.
The Ally Chevrolet of Alex Bowman, 49-7-11.
Okay, so it's 48-10. Sorry, the graphics were wrong on the TV for a minute.
All over.
That's the biggest pickup by far.
Or at least I think they were.
49.87 the first lap.
So 2 cars left. Here comes Larson in the 5, who I believe was sandbagging in that first run.
Kyle Larson was a 49.78 on his first lap. He needs to improve by 7 100ths of a second to knock Bowman off the pole.
It's going to be interesting. All right, so down the back straightaway is where Alex
All right, so right now,
pulled on him.
Larson is ahead of Bowman's time by about a half car length.
Larson just a little lower on the track, entering the corner.
It's got to be a weight thing. He's such a little bitty guy. Maybe it's just a weight thing.
Larson to the top.
All right, Larson to the top, so Amarola knocked off the front row. It's 5:48.
There's 1 more to go. With Daniels,
He's so serious. Like,
always.
he just was the fastest car out there, and he's
Last one that can do it is 24. It's already going to be a Hendrick front row, though.
If William Byron runs what he ran in round 1, he'll be 3rd.
This car of Byron's is bad looking.
He'll be fastest. They're driving this.
The ode to the Rainbow Warrior scheme, but man, it's really sharp on the track.
Alex was just a little bit higher, and to me it seemed
Justin worked at Ganassi Racing.
Larson in the 5 car pulled him. But honestly, you can see it just stretching it out the speed.
Yeah, Bowman crushed Eric Amarola. I don't know, the 24 a full car length back.
Now I want to see if he's going to be able to push Alex Bowman off that front row.
Not right there. That's got row 2 written on it. Byron needs to close that up. A couple of hundreds. And he is 3rd.
He's not going to do it. So the front row for the Daytona 500 will be Larson on the pole, Bowman from the 2 spot.
Down to 500. Alex Bowman has now started 5 Daytona 500s from the front row. A consecutive record.
Pretty
Oops, I got that number wrong, don't I?
Everybody great work.
Sorry about that. 5:48 is your front row for the Daytona 500.
Fast 4. Kyle Larson, your Daytona 500 pole winner.
Deep in credit card debt?
Wow, y'all, that was pretty cool. 201 in the chat. 201. We ask you, if you're new, please hit that subscribe button, give the video a like, and turn on bell notifications so you know when we go online. We'll be back tomorrow night for the duels at Daytona, and then back again Sunday for the Daytona 500. The 40, what did we say it was? The 64th running of the Daytona 500, y'all. 64th running. Nicole says, I got 1 out of 2. The dude says, nice, Justin, I ain't jealous. I'm just going to sip my rum and sulk. Trucker says the only way they could beat Hendrick is if Hendrick stayed home. Dave says, I got it. Woot, woot. What's the chances of a pole to checkered flag at Daytona? Going to be a fight. Yeah, I don't think anyone goes end to end. Chris says, congratulations to Larson and Alex. See you gaming with Elau. We'll see you, buddy. We'll see you. So shortly here on NASCAR.com, they'll put up the dual lineups, right? So I'm going to bring that up and we'll go check it out when it comes up. All right, so let me see if I've got a setup here that shows this so we can look at what the duels will look like tomorrow night. Is that one going to work? Yeah, here we go. All right, so this is the lineup for the duels at Daytona tomorrow. Okay, race number 1. Race number 1. This again will set the starting positions for positions 2 through 42 for the 500. But in that first race, you've got Larson and Byron and Elliott. So 3 Hendrick cars in that first race with Chastain, Suarez, Hemrick, Blaney, Reddick, Keselowski, Briscoe, Cindric, Jones, Kurt Busch, Justin Haley, Cole Custer, Todd Gillian, Noah Gragson, Cody Ware, Kaz Gralla, BJ McLeod, and JJ Yaley. The second duel will have Bowman, Amarola, Truex, Hamlin. So we've got a couple Joe Gibbs racing cars up near the front there. Kyle Busch, Dillon, Harvick. Biffle will be in the second race. He has to race his way in, y'all. He'll have to race his way in. So that's interesting. That's the lineup for the duels. Let's see what time that starts tomorrow. Let's see what time that race starts exactly so I can tell you guys when we're going to go. All right, so that is Thursday night. Okay, so it's 7 p.m. Eastern time on Fox Sports 1. 7 p.m. So I'll be online a half hour before that, 6:30 Eastern. So 4:30 tomorrow. All righty? Yeah, duels for positions 3 through 42. You're right, my mistake. Front row is set, 1-2 is set. It's 3 through 42. But yeah, looking forward to it, y'all. We had a good little stream here, almost 200 at one point. Picked up some subscribers, so I appreciate the support. Yeah, hopefully we have a good one tomorrow. Nicole says, thanks for the fun time on your channel. Appreciate it. Yeah, 6:30 Eastern, 4:30 my time. All right, let's listen to Larson.
It means a lot to him and Linda, and it means a lot to the whole Hendrick Motorsports family. So to have it on the pole at the Daytona 500 is really special, and I think, just be even more special. We could, win the duels tomorrow and go on Sunday and win the 500.
Larson, you're a pole sitter. Let's go.
Yeah, the 500 is on Sunday, Judy Williams.
Well, Jamie, Mike mentioned 5 straight Daytona 500s on the front row for Alex Bowman.
5 straight on the front row for Bowman.
The organization.
What a trip.
Yeah, thank you. It's unbelievable. You know, I've come down here not locked in, qualified poorly, had to race our way in. So it just says so much about Hendrick Motorsports and all these guys. Congrats to the 5 on getting the pole. It's cool to be to have the record, right? But I feel like Greg Ives and my race team should be the ones that get the credit for that record. This driver doesn't really have much to do with it, but glad I didn't mess it up for them. And
Nicole says there's only going to be 40. What's up, Duns Vlog? We'll see you tomorrow.
Singles car speed. What kind of encouragement is that for Sunday?
What's up, Lost Knowledge? Appreciate it, man.
And possibly getting that trophy.
Yeah, we've found out every way to lose a 500.
Yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow, hopefully. Shout out to Alberta, Canada.
You know, we've just
Malu.
seem to not be able to make it to the end. We can get close to the end. We can crash in the beginning. We can crash in the middle. Hopefully this is one that we don't crash at all. And
There you go, Justin. Get busy, buddy.
we've always had really fast cars down here, and I feel like I kind of know what I need as a speedway racer. We just kind of tend to get caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and hopefully we're going to avoid that.
Yeah, great job tonight. Mike?
Against the 5 prior drivers with 5.
So we ended up with 75-72 on the subscriber count. So picked up almost 50.
Gordon and Richard Petty.
Picked up almost 50.
That is some fast company. Kyle Larson, Alex Bowman sweep the front row for Hendrick Motorsports.
Nicole says, how many saw Kyle Larson try to tear down the grandstands in his first race at Daytona?
Some people say, if you want to see America, see it on the 4th of July. But America is just as beautiful on the 4th of January or February.
All right, y'all. So that's probably going to do it for tonight. We're going to go ahead and end this, and then I'll be back on tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern time, a half hour before that. No problem, Glenn. We'll see you. We'll see you. But anyway, y'all, Valhalla Sports Talk is going to check out for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for the duels at Daytona. Until then, Valhalla Sports Talk is off the air.